Okay. Good morning, everyone. And I mean morning cuz once again, I don't think I woke up early enough to like really prepare myself for this. But I am back with another model painting stream. And as you can see, no more cat ears, which makes me sad. Not actually, but yeah. All right. So, doing the model painting stream. Happy November, everyone, first. And I feel like this character would be better suited for October, but I was going to do this one eventually. This is the one and only Abaddon the Despoiler. Easily one of the coolest victims. He has a lot of victims. Easily one of the coolest villains out there. And he is going to be a nightmare to paint. Look at him. He has a bunch of skulls on those pikes on his back, and a Space Marine helmet. There's a lot of places for like gold, orange, and silver. His sword is going to be like like a mix between bright and dark blue, because I'm pretty sure it's made of souls, which is very chaosy. And that's what he is. He's the leader of the Black Legion, which, if I'm not mistaken, is made up of Chaos Space Marines from like every legion, which includes like the Death Guard, the World Eaters, the Emperor's Children, Word Bearers, etc., etc. Thousand Sons. So where do I even start? I think I'll start with silver. And I have a pretty good idea of what to paint silver on him. Crap, you'll have to give me a second. This setup is not... My setup here is not very good for this. So I think I'm gonna make one part, like one side of his arm, of his talons, silver. So I wanted to do Abaddon because, like, I've already done 2 Imperium characters, so I was gonna do and I just want to just like do a like a heretic or a Xenos character next. So I mean, just like so I don't only do Imperial characters. Hey, Spook. I know all now. No, you don't. Here's a hand. Here's Horus's talon. Ah, damn it. I was just explaining that I do not have a good setup for this. I was just explaining that I don't have a good setup for this because I'm doing my nails too, boo. No, these are like the most terrifying fingernails that you'll ever see. I'm assuming you're talking about these claws on Abaddon right here. The most terrifying fingernails you'll ever see. They are beautiful, yes. Oh, hey, Mater. You're both here. How are you guys doing? Oh, Spook, you are talking about these ones? Okay, yeah. You're not talking about my fingernails. Because I don't know if you noticed, but I bite my nails a lot. I don't. I'm going and you. I'm doing pretty good. Still sick, but trying to convince myself I'm not. Oh no, don't. Don't do that. No, I bite my nails a lot because I get anxious really easily. Just came by to say hi. Well, hi, Mater. Have a great stream and have fun. Alright. Thank you, Mater. I'll see you later. You take care. Thanks for stopping by. Oh no. Rip the skin around mine, I get you. Yeah, sometimes I do too. You know what? I'm gonna paint all of these pikes. Take care, everyone. Yeah, you too, Mater. I'm gonna paint all these pikes on him red because if you look closely, you can see there are skulls on them. Including a Space Marines helmet and... What's that? What's this one right here? That looks like... Would that be like a Gene Stealer cultist? Like a Tyranid's head? I don't know. Whatever it is. Yeah. I'm gonna paint those pikes. I'm gonna paint those pikes red. For blood. Ooh. Yeah, Spook. This guy is like one of the most evil characters in 40K. He's like the leader of the army that hates the Imperium the most. Well, actually no, they do hate the Imperium the most. He's like the heretic that surpasses all other heretics. He's Abaddon the Despoiler. The Despoiler of Worlds. The Arch-Fiend. And there's some pretty cool lore behind him. Games Workshop makes what's easily some of the best storytelling in any game in any universe I've seen. So he no. He despoils. Spook, he despoils. So Abaddon was a space marine under Horus Lupercal, who he spoils. Who was corrupted. So he was a space marine under Horus Lupercal, who was corrupted by the Chaos Gods, who are basically like 4 devils, basically, from the warp. And Abaddon was like his second in command, basically, of the Luna Wolves Legion, which was Horus's army. And that's when the Horus heresy started. And basically, that was a 10-year civil war across the entire Imperium that ended with a lot of people dying. And the Emperor was entombed on the Golden Throne. I'm summing this up because to talk about the entire Horus heresy, I cannot do that and paint this at the same time. But basically, what ended up happening was Horus and the Emperor were both killed. I say the Emperor was killed, but he was like mortally wounded, and he was entombed on the Golden Throne. Didn't end in friendship. How rude. No, Horus was the Emperor's son. And Abaddon, like... Okay, so a space marine is like a Primarch's son, because he's genetically modified with their gene seed. And usually, yes, his son. I know. It's a really sad story on board, what happened on board the Vengeful Spirit. But basically, a space marine is the son of they see themselves as as the son of a Primarch because they are genetically modified with their gene seed, which is like DNA. And Abaddon was genetically modified with Horus's. And with a name like that, Horus. Are you talking about Horus or Abaddon? Horus is a good guy. I mean, not in 40K, but the Egyptian god Horus is a good guy. Which makes the fact that he literally started a 10-year civil war all the more ironic. No, the ship. Oh, the Vengeful Spirit. Okay. Alright, yeah, that makes sense. Gonna paint the sword next. And basically, Abaddon... What was I saying? Oh, I was talking about the Space Marines. Alright, so a Space Marine is genetically modified with a Primarch's DNA, basically. Which makes all of them like a badass super soldier. And Abaddon was genetically modified with Horus's. So he saw Horus as a father. Who was then killed. And all the other Chaos Legions, all the other traitor Space Marine legions that fought in the Horus Heresy basically started just killing each other. Like they were all fighting each other over power and stuff. Which is like not surprising to me because this is chaos we're talking about. And and Abaddon basically just dipped. He basically He basically just left them to their own devices. Understandably, because they did all just start killing each other. And sorry. And he was eventually found again by different members of the other legions. A word bearer, a thousand sun, a world eater. Which, if you name your army the World Eaters, you're definitely... But that's besides the point. So basically, Abaddon was then like, we should all join up as a single army. Is it hard to paint on black primer versus white primer? And that's a lot of lore. Oh. There's a lot that goes into Abaddon, the Horus Heresy, the beginning of the Black Legion. 40K has some of the best lore that you can find, which is probably how I got into it. As for painting white primer on black primer, I mean, if you use oil-based paint, it's easier to paint on plastic. Yeah, I mean, but if you think about like black versus white, if you use darker colors, like, I don't know, actually. I mean, like, the color of the primer actually doesn't really matter to me. Because, oh shit. crap. The color of the primer doesn't actually matter to me a whole bunch because, like, I mean, I don't, it's not really, like, harder or easier, like, depending on the color. Does that make sense? But, but anyways, oh, okay. Let's see. Never painted them with black primer, that's why I asked. I don't know if I would call it easier, if we're being honest. Yeah, okay. You got me. Get you. Where was I? About Abaddon? Oh, okay, yeah, no. So when all these, like, Chaos Marines from the different legions came to him and were like, Abaddon, we need you. And Abaddon was basically like, we should all join up under one banner. And we cannot let Horus come back to life. Because one of the other Chaos Legions was planning on bringing Horus back to life, and that could not happen. And this new army would eventually be called the Black Legion. What in the world? This new army would be called the Black Legion, made up of Chaos Marines from the other Chaos Legions. So they basically just, like, accept all manner of just heretical, evil, fucked up people. Because Chaos are the bad guys. Chaos are the ones that... Spook, you know how I like to just type, let the galaxy burn in your chats? These are the guys who say that. You know, the bad guys. Well, I say the bad guys, there are plenty of bad guys in 40k. Chaos always bad, what a shame. I mean... yeah. These are the guys who say, let the galaxy burn. So you ask me if they're good guys, I say absolutely not. And I guess... oh, you know what? Here's a funny story about Abaddon. Well, not about Abaddon, but about, like, his old models. Because 40k was... because Warhammer 40,000's been around since, like, the late 80s. There's a meme. Oh, okay. Need to get going. Need to lay down. That's alright, Spook. I'll talk to you later. That's alright, Spook. You get some rest and get better. Alright. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see you later. But there's a really funny meme about Abaddon. His old models... No, you're fine. You're sick. You're sick, I get it. Being sick is not fun. and I should know because just recently I had coronavirus, and I because just recently I had COVID, and I still streamed even though I had it, which I probably shouldn't have, but I regret nothing. I'm not to say that I should have. Not to say that I should have done it. I probably should have taken a break because I was sick. But yeah, I need to like probably take better care of myself. So where was I? Oh yeah. So Abaddon has some pretty old models. This is actually like his newest model in the most recent edition of the game. But apparently like his old models um his old models like constantly had his arms falling off, which is like because it was an old model, because it was like poor quality and stuff. It's like a lot of people memed and called him Abaddon the Armless. Which is hilarious. But Abaddon, he's easily one of the coolest villains out there still because when the Emperor's children were about to resurrect Horus, they did resurrect Horus. Like they brought him back. Well, sort of. It was like a clone of Horus, but it was still Horus. They brought him back, and Abaddon just straight up just killed him then and there. And the claws you see on him, those actually used to be Horus's talons. And after he killed Horus, his exact words were, Horus was weak, Horus was a fool. He had the whole galaxy in his grasp and he let it slip away. And that's when Abaddon started the Black Crusade. Which, not too long after the Horus Heresy. I mean, the Black Crusades have been going on for a full 10,000 years. I do know that the first one was when he got this sword, which has a name that I will not even try to pronounce because I will get bullied for it and I don't care for that. But the sword like looks like it's either made of souls or it like absorbs souls, which is very chaosy. I think that was the first one. That was either the first or second one. Because I do know that either the first or second one was the first Battle of Cadia, which he definitely lost because the 13th Black Crusade, almost 10,000 years later, was the fall of Cadia, which which he won because the planet broke before the guard did. And during that battle, like during that fight, is where Abaddon really shined as a warrior and a leader. I mean, obviously he's a villain. He's still a villain, but he's like a badass. I think what makes him more badass is that he's not a Primarch or a demon or a god or anything. He's a space marine. He's like the Black Legion's brother. And he like sees that and acknowledges that, like, I am your brother, not a god or your father. Like, you serve by my side instead of under me. Right, enough about the lore for now. Okay, never mind. Well, actually, some really cool things I could talk about. So here's how badass Abaddon also is. He is so terrifying that during one of his Black Crusades, the Imperium had to team up with the Eldar to stop him. And I guess I don't know if this one, I don't know if this I could be wrong here, but I think it was that one where Abaddon found his first Blackstone fortress. Maybe. I could be completely wrong on that, and I probably am. But Abaddon found a Blackstone fortress, which, if you guys haven't seen Star Wars, it's basically a Death Star. It's like a stronger Death Star. Like, it can destroy planets. And no one knows where these Blackstone fortresses came from. They're just like, they just exist. And he just like found them. He just found like 2 different planet killers just floating out in space. Which is probably the worst thing for the Imperium. He destroyed Cadia with it. Although that was after it was damaged beyond repair, so he couldn't use its gun to destroy it. He just like took a bunch of his ships and threw the Blackstone fortress at Cadia to destroy it. Which is like, I mean, you're losing a battle and you're losing a battle and the Eye of Terror is shrinking. Like, not much of a choice there to ensure a victory. And the fall of Cadia, I think I'll talk more about the the fall of Cadia if I paint like an Imperial Guard character. Well, specifically Akkadian. Because, you know, it's their planet. But yeah, that story is like an amazing story. With everyone from the Imperium. There's the Sisters of Battle, there's the Imperial Guard. There's like a bunch of different chapters of Space Marines. Everyone's there. Think of it as like Infinity War, but in 40K. And I say Infinity War because they lost. And Endgame would probably be the resurrection of Rabute Gilliman. And I will definitely paint him soon. For when I do like another Imperium character. What colors am I going to paint these skulls? These heads? That Space Marine helmet is staying red because we'll just say that's a Blood Angel. And Abaddon is like stepping on some Space Marine bodies down here. I don't know if I want to paint those though. We'll just say they're Black Templars. And I'm gonna say those are Black Templars because they would definitely put themselves in a position to be killed by Abaddon. But I'll talk more about that if I ever paint a Black Templar character. Which there's actually quite a lot of them to paint. There's High Marshal Helbrecht. There's one called Grimaldus. There's the Emperor's Champion. I do know that the Black Templars are like... They have like the least chill out of all the Space Marines. They're like the most religiously crazed and fueled. And they're still considered... And they're like the good... And they're still like the good guys. I mean, they're definitely the most evil out of the Space Marines. I think literally the only faction more evil than the Black Templars are probably Chaos. Which is saying something. Actually, you know what? The Drukhari are pretty... The Dark Eldar are pretty bad. Let's just be real here. Want to paint the furs on his cape. I also want to add more white to his face. But my white painting marker is screwed up. Like, it's not painting white. Unless it decides it wants to now. Nope, that is not white. Oh, well, we'll just say that he, well, to be fair, his face is supposed to look like pale and dead, basically. So, yeah. And I'm going to paint, like, the souls on his sword. On his sword with an impronounceable name. And that's the wrong color. There we go. And then, you know what, this Space Marine helmet on his pikes, I'm gonna give it another shade, another like coat of red. To make it more red. To make it look like Blood Angel E. And let's see. What should I make the furs? What? On second thought, gonna paint this right here first. Which it looks like something's wing. There we go. I wonder if that thing's wing was like part of a Jukari skiff or something. And now I think I'll paint the furs. No, I'm gonna paint the skulls actually. And since my white doesn't seem to wanna work with me, I'll just paint these Skull's gray. Silver. I need a better setup for this. I need like an elevated surface for models so my webcam can see it. Yeah, these at least look a little like skulls. They look like metal skulls. They look like metal skulls. They're Necron skulls. Except for this one right here that could very well be a Tyranid. Or from a Gene Stealer cult. Which kind of want to check them out. I'm ordering every single codex. So if my dad and I want to start an army, we can just we have the codex. We have their rules. And we'll see if we want to start their army. I very well might start a Chaos army. Because I've heard that with the new Chaos Codex that just came out, they are just destroying people. Come on. And I'm really curious to see what Abaddon's warlord traits are. Because I imagine he is I imagine he's a warlord. Alright, here we go. And now the furs on his shoulder. I could just... No, I won't leave them black. See, do I have a color that would fit them? You know what? More red. More red, why not? This can either be from a red furred animal Actually, the way it looks now, it could be like someone or something's blood, which would be very appropriate. All right. Huh. You know, I thought this would be a nightmare to paint. But I guess that was only if I was thinking of putting effort into it. There's some things I could do. You know what? I wonder if the new Warhammer the Horus Heresy game has a Horus Looper Call model. Cause that's a mini I would paint. And I think that's... Huh. This doesn't look too bad. This is very... I think I've done Abaddon justice here. Yeah, I'm satisfied with this. He's easily, like... Again, one of the coolest victims. One of the coolest villains out there, I think. Mainly because he basically said to Horus, no. when he was resurrected. And he's like, no. We are doing this our way. And not yours. And then he just straight up killed this resurrected Horus. It wasn't really Horus himself, but he still basically said F you, and we are doing this our way. See, I talked about his lore. You know what? I'm gonna look up his data sheet. Look up Abaddon the Despoiler's datasheet. Abaddon the Despoiler datasheet 9th. Oh. His sword is called Draknin. Draknin. It's like, wait, what? That's hilarious. Alright, so... See... Talon of Horus, shooting. Oh yeah, because he has a Stormbolter in the Talon. Draknin, of course. See if I can read this. This is for the sword. Each time an attack is made with this weapon, an unmodified wound roll on an unmodified wound roll of 6, the target suffers D3 mortal wounds, in addition to any normal damage. Wow, that is powerful. Dark Destiny. This model has a +4 invulnerable save. In addition, this model cannot lose more than 3 wounds in the same phase. Any wounds that would be lost after that point are not lost. Wow. That's as broken as Gazkul Thraka's freaking can't lose more than 4 wounds in one turn. Lord of the Traitor Legions. Ugh. In your command phase, select one Heretic Astartes core or Heretic Astartes character unit within 6 inches of this model. Until the start of your next command phase, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, you can re-roll the hit roll. If that character unit is a Black Legion unit, you can also re-roll the wound roll. Wow. Oh. Faction keywords. There's a lot. Chaos, Khorne, Nurgle, Slanesh, Tzeentch, Heretic Astartes, Traitorous Astartes, Black Legion. This is making me want to start a Chaos army, won't lie. Damn. This is just like... This is just like Abaddon. If he's your warlord, it really feels like you just can't lose. I mean, it's the same with Gazkul Thraka with the orcs. If he's your warlord in an army of orcs, chances are you're not losing easily. Which is the point. You know, the red on his face does make him look like he just killed someone. Which he probably did. He has a lot of blood on his hands. Figuratively and literally. But I think I'm satisfied with this. And on that note, I think I'm done. So, everyone, as always, thank you so very much for watching. Even if you weren't here for long, thanks for hanging out. Excuse me. And please be sure to check out my Twitter and my Discord in the description below. And also, make sure you subscribe to stay tuned for my next for my next stream, which will be tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. CST. Gonna be playing some Dead Cells. And be sure to check out my podcast with my dad too. This Tuesday is going to be when the next episode of our Dead Space series goes up. And I'm pretty sure you guys would really enjoy that one. So, until next time, guys, thank you again for watching. And I will see you guys later. So, goodbye.